Don't got any 70s.
One more lap to go here at Indy. He ran him all the way from 3 seconds back. 2 laps to go. Oh, Matthew gets spun. Oh, Matthew gets the apron around the Strexler. He spins right from the back. Huge wreck. The 2 flies up in the air. It's 3 wide. Oh, what a move by Derek. He wants to go.
Tries to send him up the hill, but can't quite do it.
Now between the 2 car lengths. Too little too late for Derek on Smith. Oh, clapping gets third. Clapping gets third. Oh my gosh. Side by side. 3 wide at the wire.
Welcome everybody back here live for tonight's iSCAR Chuck Anderson Ford Super Late Model Tour. Glad you could tune us in here live here at Langley Speedway for tonight's event. My name is Ezeckiel Reyes.
And I'm Dewey Schramm. Welcome everybody here for tonight's broadcast here at Langley. Should be an interesting one despite the fact that there are only 7 people in the session. So by far the lowest car count so far of the season. But hopefully we can still get a pretty good and exciting race in the books here for tonight. And let's take a look at the points, of course, as we only have 3 races left in the season. Points leader Christopher Weil is not here tonight. He's competing in the eracer.gg Car Anomaly 500, so good luck to him as he competes there. So Hunter Johnson comes in 19 points behind that 41 here tonight. But again, only 7 people in the session, so even if he dominates and wins and maxes out on bonus points, he cannot even get to even a tie with Chris. So it's still an uphill battle for sure for that 12, even though that 41 is not going to show.
Gee, I think Chris just joined in the session, so make that now
Well, did
8 drivers?
Oh.
Yeah, there he is.
No, maybe did he wreck out or something?
I mean, I don't know.
I
I
don't
guess
know.
he just have to get an update on
interesting.
that.
Because I know he was competing in there, and maybe something just happened, or maybe he left the race to do this. I don't know. So points leader Chris is now here tonight. So, and again, even with 8 people in the session, Chris's lead coming in was 19. So the most points that Hunter, I think, can gain tonight is going to be around, I think, 11 or 12 if he maxes out on everything. So it's going to definitely be a challenge from here and the next 2 races. Hunter to the top of the board, though.
Yeah, so we're still waiting on one more lap time. Slick LaFaro.
Chris got some damage, I think. And that'll be it for qualifying. Quick and easy. Hunter takes the pole. So a bonus point for him. And I don't know if this is a heat or if this is the main event already.
I think this is the heat. So
Hunter and Kevin White, row 1. Row 2, Nick and Harry. In row 3, Carson and Chris. So looks like 6 out of the or is the whole field in this.
yeah, so
I'm not really
here in a moment. Yeah, and Miller and LaFaro yet to excuse me, get to grid up. There's I think Miller.
Bless you.
So yeah, 8 laps. We're just gonna do it as a classic heat. And after that, the main event, 100 laps. So
Yeah, Hunter, of course, the winningest ever iSCAR driver, trying to add another to his total here for tonight's race. Kevin White Jr., he's been one of the best on these short tracks. Had some rough luck at Martinsville, though. Flipped over in both his heat race and the main event. So hopefully he can keep his car on all 4 tires this time around. But I think he's one that if Hunter runs into some issues, I think that 13 could definitely sneak in a win over these last 3 races. He's definitely got the speed to do it. But this entire field is definitely capable of winning. I mean, Hunter, of course, Miller, a competitor week in and week out. Grindel's a past super late model winner. Carson's really good in these late models. Come close to winning multiple times. Chris has won this season. Dominic won it, I think, USA. And looks like LaFaro still isn't gridded, so pace car will scoot itself down on pit road. We're underway here at Langley for heat number 1, and Miller did not get a good start at all, and that will allow Grindel to take third on the high side.
How about Kevin pinching the 12 of Hunter enough to keep him pinned down to the bottom? They'll still be side by side through the corner, so looks like Kevin, he got tight. He's going to have to slot himself in second, or at least try to, as Harry now guns in for that position.
An aggressive move there for the 70. Will it pay off? Looks like it's yes, but 13 will cross over into 3, but can't quite get the run to do it. But he's right there on the 70's bumper at a 4, as Hunter tries to gap himself on the rest of this field, as the 13 still putting the pressure on that 70 and moves him out of the way out of turn 2, so put Kevin White back up into second place, and Miller's going to try to file in right behind the 13 and take third, and it looks like Carson will take fourth as well, so that move there, and Chris with contact from Dominic. So this is only an 8-lap heat, but they're already showing quite a bit of aggression here in the early going.
Harry got a bit low off of 4. He'll lose a lot of time to the drivers right in front of him. Seems as though we've all gotten into a nice rhythm. And for that, that number 12, Hunter Johnson, probably going to run up away with this heat win.
3 to go. Top 3, or actually the whole field right now, single file all the way through. Carson trying to put some pressure right now on his teammate Nick for that 3rd spot, as Hunter and Kevin White have started to pull away here from the rest of the field. 2 to go here in the heat, as Carson's gotten to the low side now of that 95, trying to take that podium spot away here in this heat, and looks like we'll complete this pass here in turns 3 and 4. So good job there by Carson, but with a nice crossover by Nick as Carson hits the wall, and they're going to make contact, and around they go into turn number 1, and they're going to both slide through the grass as Hunter takes the white flag. Dominic gets passes Grindel there, and out of 4, Hunter Johnson takes heat number 1, or the heat.
Yeah, so Dominic and Harry end up a position further up. Carson and Miller are going to have to start toward the back, so that's unfortunate, but, you know, get ourselves through this warm-up session. Probably is going to get advanced.
Not very often that running in 4th place is technically mid-pack. But that's the case here tonight. So congratulations to everybody in the field here. You are guaranteed a top 10 here in tonight's race.
Oh, I guess there's I'm not sure why an LCQ got ran.
So it's going to be 3 people. It's just Carson, Nick, and LaFaro.
Yeah.
So the top 5 in that first heat are going to start in that order. So this is just to determine 6th through 8th. But I don't know if LaFaro is gridded because he didn't run the heat, unless he's just skipping these and just going to go over to the main event. There's Carson. And of course, these two just made contact in the heat. Now they get to race each other for 10 more laps before the actual race starts. So looks like LaFaro will not grid again, but hopefully he'll be there for the main event here in a few moments. So the 2 SPM cars will go at it here for 10 minutes, or not 10 minutes, 10 laps, to determine who gets to start in 6th and who gets to start in 7th here for tonight's race, as that is quite literally the only thing on the line here.
Yeah, I'm curious why it ran in LCQ. Should have went through heat since everybody's gonna make it anyway, but I just find that really bizarre. I don't know how iRacing determines what to skip but they're just going backwards. Yeah, I find that a bit interesting how, because of that, I mean, oh my god, they're both going backwards.
Oh my goodness. Hey guys, the longer you take here, the longer we have to wait for the main event to start.
Longer the race is gonna be, I mean, yeah, so.
iSCAR gets itself down on the pit road, Miller gets a bit sideways, and we're off and rolling here for 10 laps in the backwards LCQ as they make their way through turns 1 and 2. Miller with a nice crossover down onto the bottom side underneath his teammate Carson, and that might be the first, actually the second ever backwards pass in iSCAR history. See also Jackson Menchu, and around goes Miller into turn 3, and that's going to cost him some time. But now that he's going in the right direction, he's going to gain all that time back as Carson leads lap 1. And here comes Nick, and he will take the lead away. And off he's going as Carson's going to spin it down into the grass. And around goes Miller out of turn 2. That's probably on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, the longer they're gonna take out in the racetrack, the less, more time it's gonna take until they get through into the heat. So, not really sure what these guys are doing, but we'll go over points as these drivers just screw around here in the background. For a while, he's here tonight, so I guess a potential for Hunter Johnson to gain some points has been thrown out the door, so that's unfortunate for him. I mean, he's still going to gain points regardless. Hunter did win the heat, and he's going to start toward the front, but Wile's going to start in, I think, 6th. So, Wile has some work to get himself through, but I think this race, if Wile screws up now, it's probably going to open up the door for everybody right behind to have a shot at the championship. I mean, Hunter Johnson, Nick Miller, Dominic Howe, all within reaching distance of that number 41, so it's going to be interesting if where Wile finishes here tonight.
Yeah, like I said, though, I mean, we're looking at a 7 or 8 car field, depending on if LaFaro ends up gridding up or not, but if there's any race, I guess, that Wile can make a mistake, it's going to be this one, because, again, with only 7 or 8 people here tonight, and you factor in the bonus points, Hunter, I think the most amount of points he can get is like 11, 12, or 13. So, Chris is guaranteed to have some sort of points lead regardless after tonight. Of course, he wants it to be as many points as possible, but, he could finish in last place and Hunter could win, and it could only be about an 8-point swing, and he'd still be up by at least 10 coming out of tonight. So, it's not the end of the world, of course, if Chris has an issue, but we know how quick of a learner he is, given that I think he bought the Super Late model, within a day of the season opener, so I would expect him to still be really competitive, of course, and he's already picked up a win this season. Should be interesting nonetheless, but, of course, the very small car count definitely hurts the people trying to catch Chris more than Chris himself.
So for Miller, I don't think he's going to have an opportunity to pass the 12, but he's still going to be able to close the gap between himself and Hunter Johnson if Miller does finish ahead of that number 12 somehow. And for drivers right behind, like Brinkley.
Yeah, they're out of it.
Yeah, they're probably out of it. Everybody from, I'd say, 6th on down are out of it.
The only way that people like Brinkley and, Harry can win this thing, and even Dominic, the only way they can really win is if we have like a 62 car field show up to the finale at Bristol. I mean, if that doesn't happen, there's no mathematical way that, they can win. But if we get a full field at Bristol and, Christie and Hughes and one of those guys wins, I mean, at that point it's possible. But, given the car counts we've had this season, I doubt that's going to happen. So I think the only person that really has a chance to catch Chris is going to be that 12. And maybe Nick if those top two have enough issues over these final three. So we'll see. And we'll get a check-in on how these two guys are doing as we try to get ourselves close to the main event. I don't know where they are.
They're both on pit road right now, but there's 40 seconds in the race, so get that summed up. And
well, Miller's gonna win if neither of them get back on the track. So it looks like Miller will start in 6th and Carson in 7th for tonight, and LaFar will be 8th if he decides to grid. So that's basically your starting order. That's about it. We'll just wait for the session time here for the LCQ to hit 0, and we should be on our way.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, not a whole lot to really talk about here. It's just, it's a, 8 cars at a, I don't know about a lesser known track, but, a track that a lot of people may not be as familiar with, of course, as the ones we usually run. So I guess maybe one of those nights. You get them every so often where there's, not a lot of people there. It's, not a track a lot of people know or have or whatnot. And
yeah, there's a lot of factors that play into how many people show up per race.
Other events going on, of course.
Right.
Like at this point in the top 3 series, of course, the car counts have gone way down because the chase has started. So
Right.
a lot of the people that were only there just to get in the chase have, some of them stopped running and stuff. Stuff like one of the Nice Design Series races last season we had during the Super Bowl. So, different things can do that, but
Right.
I think it's like a certain group, I guess, that prefers the super lates more than, most people do. That, I think a good amount of the people that end up running in this series, at least some of them, we don't really see run elsewhere in the league. It's just they come here and that's about it.
Right.
I think we saw that more last season, but it's a couple different things that, can influence that stuff.
Right, and I mean, we admins did remove a lot of short track guys this season. I mean, we saw a lot of intentional wrecking and hazardous driving in the first weeks of this series of this season, and that in result removed a lot of short track guys. And I know some of those drivers were on teams and see their leader or one of their drivers get removed. That's a demotivating factor. I forgot who it was, but I think Hefner or Brinkley, one of those drivers got removed, and now the other one doesn't show up anymore since that person ain't here, and that made up a good chunk of the field as well. So yeah, as well, you mentioned we're way deep in the season now, and
yeah,
car counts. It's not only just the super late model series that are down on car count. It's all 4 series as well. So,
yeah, I mean, there's people that I'm sure would have raced tonight if they were still in championship contention. But people further down that points board probably saw where they were and said, "Nah, not really. I don't feel like it. Maybe." But if they were up there in points, like Chris and Hunter, or maybe those people would have showed up. So who knows? But I think we're in the warm up now. Looks like Carson and Nick are still on pit road. I don't know. It's showing the white flag. I'm not really
sure.
I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, me neither. So we'll just wait it out for right now and get ourselves set for this. It's gonna be 100 laps. The last time we ran here, we had 11 people show. So Langley, and not a really popular racetrack in terms of iSCAR wise. We've only ran this track twice on the iSCAR season, Once in the late models and once here, and after that we're running a second time. So Langley, I think
might as well
the
go
last
over racing.
winners, yeah, our last winners here at this racetrack were Liam Sheen and Cameron Leibel. Liam won the late model race and Leibel won the super late model race. So that gives you like a hint or maybe a bit of foreshadowing of what to come. Who knows?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was Liam's first league win here.
That's right.
And I think that was Libel's as well, so...
Yep.
Might as well go over race analysis while we're here. I mean, might as well do something productive, I guess, while we wait for the session to advance. Roughly 3/8 of a mile here. I believe this track is located in Virginia. I want to say near Norfolk and Newport News, if I'm not mistaken. It's somewhere around there. Time of day, afternoon to evening. Pit road speed, 35 miles per hour, but I don't think we're going to see pit stops unless they're under caution. 2 tire sets for these drivers here for tonight. And again, the fuel window, not really a thing with it being a super late race. So again, we shouldn't see any green flag pit stops unless somebody hits the wall really hard and it doesn't bring a caution out or something. So it should be a quick one. And of course, even if we do have yellows, the pace laps are quicker since it's a short track. So
Right.
I don't imagine this race will take that long.
I think this was one of the racetracks in which... No, it was Stafford last in the Street Stock Series that it went green all the way from start to finish, and that was an 80-lap event.
I think we had like 10 people for that as well.
No, we only had 6 people for that race. So...
Yeah, we've had small fields like this before. I don't remember which series it was. There was a race a while ago that had 4, I believe. I think it might have been a dirt race, like 2 or 3 years ago, that only had 4 people show up. But I can't remember exactly what the details of it were.
Yeah,
So I guess, you know, we've had small fields before. I mean, obviously they're not preferable, but it happens sometimes.
I'm gonna take a look at the session time real quick. See on what we have session wise. So
Fun fact about Langley as well. This track is actually hosted cup races before. It hosted 9 of them from 1964 to 1970. David Pearson won the most out of those with 3. I mean, I actually didn't know this track hosted cup races. I'm just surfing through Racing Reference basically to fill the time, and I had no idea the cup ever came here. Xfinity came here 14 times, all back in the 80s. Arga East went here from 2011 to 2018. So, it's had some pretty good races or some well-known series, I guess.
yeah, it's been ran on the NASCAR circuit for a while. You mentioned about ARCA running here multiple times. I mean, not ARCA, but the East Series running here multiple times. I think ARCA has ran here before as well. And
Modifieds have been here as well a couple times.
that's right.
Yeah, Ryan Preece actually the most recent modified winner here. So, I mean, Richard Petty, David Pearson, Ned Jarrett, Bobby Allison. I mean, that's a pretty good list of people that have won here before. I think it's one of the tracks in Virginia that people often forget about. Of course, you know, Martinsville and Richmond are the 2 big ones that, when you think about racing in Virginia, you always think of. You know, you think of South Boston because the Burton family's from there. But, you know, Langley is kind of just there. A lot of people, I don't think, you know, really know about it or know much about it compared to the other 3. But it's a neat little facility. You know, it'd be cool if, you know, another major series comes back here, because all those series we just mentioned, none of them are still here anymore. Not since 2018, at least. I think maybe it's just harder for a track like this to get a bigger market race when Martinsville and Richmond already have, 2 each every year.
Right. Alright, we'll be right back right after this. We're currently having a bit of a session issue. Trying to get advanced as fast as we can. So we're going to scoot ourselves to the side and get everything situated. Be right back right after this. Apologies about that.
Dale Earnhardt, defending champion, a man who has won here at this racetrack. He has been absolutely second to none in 1987.
Dale Earnhardt is on his last lap. This will be his 24th career win, his 4th win of 1987 out of 6. Dale Earnhardt wins the first Union 400 at North Wilkesboro.
Everyone's wondering what can stop Dale Earnhardt. He's on a roll, 4 wins and 6 starts. I mean, is there anybody can handle you?
There may be a little more here underneath the sheet metal.
Well, I'm sure this afternoon we'll know a lot more, and we've got 500 miles to run. We'll see what happens.
Good luck today.
Our magnificent 19th annual $500,000 Talladega 500 is won by Dawsonville, Georgia's Bill Elliott, and the siren is beginning to ring. You'll probably hear it in Dahlonega. Bill Elliott has won. Davey Allison second.
Elliott now getting a challenge from Tim Richmond, but he closes again right in behind Earnhardt, coming down off turn 4. And Earnhardt loses it, goes on the grass, comes back, and Elliott goes inside. And Earnhardt still got the lead. Incredible. Decent driving by Earnhardt. 7 laps to go. Earnhardt went on the grass.
Dale Earnhardt is reminding Mr. Elliott, you make one mess up like that, and I might get through.
When you come to North Wilkesboro on a short racetrack, you expect some fender to fender and even some paint trading going on out there. We've seen it already as Brett Bodine gave Jerry Cranmer a nudge in the rear end, and now we're seeing some great competition out there between Dale Earnhardt and Bill Elliott.
So with the ongoing session information and such, so we by the looks of it, race is going to be called off of the heat, so we'll get everything situated off of points wise and such, and unfortunate end to what was going to be an interesting 100-lap event, but rather than that, just 8 laps here tonight.
Well, congratulations to Hunter. I mean, by winning the heat, that means he's now the race winner. So, led the most laps, won the pole. So Hunter actually did max out on points tonight and finished with a 0x. So, with only the heat being counted, I think Weil got 5th. So, Hunter, I think, gained like 5 or 6 points on Chris, which, is still down by about 10 or 12, but, just inching a bit closer. And, of course, still 2 more races to try to make that gap up. So, definitely, it'll still help a little bit. Unfortunate that the session's all buggy, though.
Yeah, so we'll be back next week coming to Five Flags. So should be interesting to see on how that race will all turn out. But in the meantime, with that, apologies about the session information and the session bugging out and such like that. So
we'll be back on Friday though. I mean, the super lates will be back next week, but the trucks will be back on Friday for Iowa though. So that'll be the first round or the first race of the round of 7. So be sure to come back for that, of course. Major chase stuff going on there. The Wolf Cup on Saturday as well. That'll be at Kansas, so another great one there. And of course, the Xfinity cars will be back on Sunday at Gateway. So should be a good set of races this weekend. Unfortunately, this week not off to the greatest of starts, but hopefully the rest of the week kind of makes up for what we had tonight. But I mean, for the people still left, I guess, thank you for watching the heat race that ended up being the race. Congrats once again to Hunter on picking up the win. I believe his 3rd of the season. So, but that'll pretty much be it here for tonight. So for Ezeckiel Reyes, I'm Dewey Schramm. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back on Friday night at 9:45.